Hi everybody, Matt back with you, hope you're okay. I'm often asked, as we head towards video 400, how I keep coming up with some of these videos. Purely and simply, I find stuff that interests me, research it a bit and see if there's a good story there. Sometimes they just accidentally fall into your lap, like this one today. So this board stands outside Hebden Bridge train station. It's to do with Ted Hughes' Yorkshire. And here was a notice of a poem that he'd written about a man called Dick Straightup, who was a regular at the crossing in Heptonstall. It intrigued me. So I'm neither an expert on Ted Hughes or poetry in general. Ted Hughes, however, is quite a big name for Mythenroyd, because he has a blue plaque there. There's plans even to put a statue up to him. He is, however, a very divisive character. There are people who tell you he's the best poet of the last century. There are others who say he's responsible for 2 deaths of his wives, who both committed suicide. So, yeah, controversial character, and not one I'm going to look at in depth today. Instead, I was definitely, perhaps unsurprisingly, interested in the Dick Straightup character, who I'm sure must have been a character from Carry On films. But what did interest me is that he was a real person. He was Ted Hughes' uncle, and he did used to sit in the Cross Inn in the Heptonstall, and Ted used to watch him, and so that's why Dick Straightup is about Richard Uttley. So now we're in Heptonstall graveyard. I've been browsing around both this one and the one around the churches to look for Richard Ingham, but unfortunately I've been unsuccessful so far. Unfortunately, if you look behind me, quite a lot of the graves are overgrown and potentially could be behind. There are, of course, other Ted Hughes related gravestones here. And whether I should say that or not, this is the grave of Sylvia Plath, who was married to Ted Hughes. Controversially, you can see the Hughes looks a bit different. It's because people keep coming and scratching the name off, and they have done for the best 60 years. And at the opposite side, we have this one. Edith Farrar Hughes and William Henry Hughes. These are the parents of Ted Hughes. So I've spent about an hour and a half in the graveyard, been completely unsuccessful in finding Dick Straightup, which is very disappointing. If you are watching this and know where his gravestone is it covered up perhaps? Many Uttleys, but I couldn't find Richard. So do let me know. In the meantime, this is the poem in all its glory. And I apologise in advance. Past 80, but never in 80 years, 80 years on the windy ridge of England, has he buttoned his shirt or his jacket. He sits in the barroom seat he has been polishing with his backside 60-odd years, where nobody else sits. White is his head, but his cheek high, hale as when he emptied every Saturday the 12-pint tankard at a tilt, swallowed the whole serving of 30 eggs, and banged the big bass drum for Heptonstall, with 100 other great works still talked of. Age has stiffened him, but not dazed or bent. The blue eye has come clear of time. At a single pint now, his memory sips slowly, his belly strong as a tree bole. He survives amongst hills, nourished by stone and height. The dust of Achilles and Cuculain itches in the palms of scholars. Thin clerks exercise in their bed-sitters at midnight, and the meat salesman can loft fully £400. But this one, with no more application than sitting and drinking and singing, fell in the sleet late, damned the pouring gutter, and slept there, and throughout a night searched by shouts and lamps, froze, grew to the road with welts of ice. He was chipped out at dawn, warm as a pie, and snoring. So there are a few more verses to the poem, which was written in 1959. It's unlikely today that anyone still exists who remembers Dick Straightup, the man himself. It certainly shows just one of those many fantastic Yorkshire characters that used to be around back in the day. So there we go, perhaps a bit of an unsatisfying conclusion. But yeah, I was definitely carried away by the innuendo of the title, which was what made me do this video today. Apologies for all that, especially as we couldn't find the grave and I couldn't get in the pub. So yeah, same as before, if you know where his grave is, please do let me know. I can find things online that suggest it's definitely there. But yeah, there's dozens of Uttleys, but no sign of Richard. So for now, Mr. Straightup, his location remains a mystery. So we'll see you again soon for the next video, guys. Take care. Bye for now, and thanks as always for watching.